So this is Backsock Bible Chat number 14. What is justification and adoption? I am Philipp Bu록haus, John Dosanim. When we talk about justification and adoption, we actually enter the core, the center of the Lutheran Reformation. That was what Luther's claim was basically about. We are saved by God's grace through faith alone. Luther rediscovered this biblical truth, because this biblical truth had been put aside by a huge church system for hundreds of years. You can find this teaching just as well in Zwingli and in Calvin, because it's biblical, but Luther puts most emphasis on it. Other than Zwingli and Calvin, Luther was formerly a monk, so an existential fear of God drove him into the monastery, and this fear kept him there. So the great discovery of Luther was that God not just claims justice, righteousness, but that he gives freely justice, righteousness, and holiness. Now, how does this come about? The relationship between God and me is based on grace on God's side and faith on my side. And even this faith of mine is a gift of God. God regards me as righteous because of what He has done for me in Jesus Christ. And this is very important. He regards me as righteous. Apart from the view of God, I am not righteous. So if I just look at myself, I'm not at all righteous. It's just the faith in Jesus and what He has done for me on the cross that matters. This is the difference. It's not because of my good character or my good deeds that I'm just, that I'm righteous. It's not because of that God accepts me, but it's as if God would, and it's not as if God would change me first into a better person and then accepts me. The acceptance of God comes first, and anything else follows. So the change of my life is the consequence, not the precondition of my justice in God's eyes. It is following. The grace of God comes first. Anything else comes second. This is really a paradox. Luther calls it in a Latin phrase, simul justus et peccator magere. So at the same time, righteous and sinner. This is really strange. In our own view, we are unrighteous and sinners. But in God's view, we are righteous. We are holy. So when I say to God, I am a sinner, then God replies, because of Jesus, you are righteous. You are okay. You are holy. You are my child. Because God looks at our sin as if it was Jesus' sin, and He looks at Jesus' righteousness as if it was our righteousness. This is completely nuts. And still there is another effect of faith. God regards us as His children. In John 1, chapter 12, we can read, "But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. And as children, we are also heirs. We are heirs of the blessings that God keeps in heaven. We can already enjoy these blessings from time to time, but we cannot enjoy them constantly right now. As a part of this world, we still struggle and we suffer. But one day, there will be a constant and unclouded community with God. Now, what is the important consequence of these teachings? I think there is a very important consequence for evangelism and mission. When we have been made just in Christ, when we have been made righteous in Christ, despite our injustice, then we share a basic solidarity with all humans as sinners. So when we share the gospel, we don't do it from above in a top-down manner, as friendly and as jovial it may look like, but on the same level with those whom we share it with. Not as global leaders, but just as if one beggar tells the other one where one can get something to eat. So that was Backsock Bible Chat number 14. What is Justification and Adoption? By Philip Brockhaus, John Dosani.